So my client Tessa's doing a lot better, and she wants to start working out now and is curious what exercises and or workouts she can do without flaring the neck up and just to get her whole body stronger. So that's what this video is going to be about. Enjoy.
I always liked like hiking and outdoor stuff, but never like going to the gym.
Okay.
Working out.
Yeah.
And then when I met Chris, I got a little bit more into it because he was doing, at the time, personal training.
I know
college.
Yeah. He's a personal trainer?
He was going to be a physical therapist.
Yeah.
So he showed me some stuff, and I did like a lot of like foundational things because I had never really worked out.
Like squats, deadlifts.
Yeah, like just learning, even now,
like
my squats are pretty bad. Like, my form is bad. So just learning like how to do a squat properly, I can deadlift okay. Just stuff like that, like band walks, mobility stuff. But never anything like super consistent.
Okay.
And then when we moved to Santa Cruz, right before I got pregnant, I found like a CrossFit, but it was run by physical therapists. So they were super...
Do it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved him.
Great.
They were so cool.
You know, I can only say good things about they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're great.
And so I did like the whole foundational course because Chris is like, if you do CrossFit, like if you want to do that, that's cool. But a lot of people get hurt and you are not like a seasoned. It's like, no, I understand. So that helped a lot, and just like trying to learn how to move my body and do proper form. And I was like 3 months in and I got pregnant. So I tried to go as long as I could, but it was like box jumps and all this crazy stuff. And so I just went back to like hiking and doing stuff throughout pregnancy. And then I haven't done a lot since having her, besides like I love my Peloton.
Okay, so you have
That's
a Peloton.
all like, I have a Peloton. Chris has, I like kettlebells, I like med ball, like that kind
slam
of
ball
stuff.
type stuff.
I'm not super familiar with the squat rack, but you have one, he just hasn't set it up. We have a lot of bands.
Okay.
I really like the TRX. I used to just like do stuff
sweet.
like that with it in our living room.
I have a TRX.
Okay.
I haven't set up yet.
Okay, that's just, it's like something easy I can put in our living room while she's sleeping. Like, and I have a walking pad I got so that I can walk while she sleeps.
Okay.
Because the chiropractor's like, you don't want to be like looking down for long periods of time on my bike, but it's getting better now, so I feel like I could ride it.
Sure.
I don't know. And that's kind of it. So I don't have a huge history of being super athletic.
Okay.
But I'd like to work out. Like, I did some split squats the other day.
How'd that go?
It went well, but Chris was like, you need to like regress that and all these things. And I was like, okay. So he put like, because he's like, you shouldn't be training a wiggle. Because he's like, you're trying to like train the movement since you haven't been working out. And my one side is fine, and then my other side goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you can just hold it or do like air squats or something. And he had these things that make your feet go out.
Okay. Like kind of like wedges or something?
Yeah, and it helped a lot because my ankle mobility was not great. But it did seem to help. Like I could do it better. But so I'm just trying to get back into it without like injuring myself or doing something that would make it spasm. But every day I've been doing the 3 sets of 10 chest press and flies and been fine.
Cool.
So just wanting to like do other stuff for core and holding my posture and opening this and doing like the wall to open this all up. I can still feel it like limited and pinched or whatever like on my arm, but it's getting better and my neck's getting better.
Nice.
So that's really good.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. And the chiropractor's like, you're holding alignment, like this is great. So I'm hoping things are getting better.
Good. Good. Yeah, sounds like it. That's
awesome. I'm hoping.
So it sounds like you're getting a little bit more confident too with just like being out. You're even turning your head better. And all of that. So it's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, oh, you seem less tense. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Well, my plan for today was to just take you through some basic movements.
Okay.
So like squat, a lunge, some shoulder press.
Okay.
Maybe even like a modified push-up. And just see how you do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no judgment.
Okay.
And we're just doing like a baseline assessment of how you move.
Okay.
You shouldn't be too sore after today.
Okay.
The goal unless you want to.
Okay.
Some people want to feel really.
I'm already kind of sore just from doing like split squats, and I did a bunch of step ups that day, so I think my quads are a little sore.
Pretty sore still. Yeah.
From never working out to doing all that. So.
Yeah, so I like to start people off with not like super high intensity unless they want that. But just to get like you're talking about the foundational movements down, learn to form really well, and then build on that. That's generally how I like to approach it.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. So in terms of a warm up, I just like to go really basic and do what are called box squats.
Okay.
So box squats, literally squatting down to a box.
Okay.
So I usually will hold my hands in this position. I'll turn my toes out, and I'm going to sit on the chair and stand up.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
So we're just going to sit on the chair or on the bench and then stand up.
Okay.
So go ahead and just do 10 of those for me. And I'm not going to give you any coaching.
Okay.
I'm just going to see how you do it first.
Okay.
And then we'll make adjustments as needed.
Is that too wide or anything?
No, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, your squat form is great. You probably don't even change anything here.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you talking about? You got.
I don't know. I'm always like scared that I'm doing it wrong.
No. And keep in mind there are a lot of variations of how to squat or lunge, right?
Okay.
So everyone's anatomy is a little bit different too. So that will change things as well.
Yeah, I feel like I have longer,
femur to
yeah. So I feel like
to knee ratio.
that has been harder with some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not counting. I didn't know.
Well, how's it? That was like 12. I think.
Okay, it feels good.
Okay,
Oh,
no problems.
No.
Okay, so now let's step away from the box, and we're going to do it without the box. So we're just going to do a regular squat.
Okay.
We'll see how you do. Yeah, honestly, that looks pretty good.
Okay.
We'll do 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Any problems with that?
No, I feel like it's easier to gauge my posture more with sitting on something.
On the bench?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Just chest forward wise versus but I don't know.
So with the squat, when we were taught in grade school, I don't know if you ever had PE class
Yes.
and had you squatting. Most of the PE coaches were totally wrong.
Sure.
Looking back, I'm just what? These guys had no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But they had to teach kids and So, but a lot of them will be go shoulder width apart.
Right. Yeah. I remember all that.
Toes forward,
Mm-hmm.
and then keep your chest up and squat down.
Yeah.
That is so hard
Yes.
because most people can't. Your anatomy doesn't work like that.
Right.
And if you look at any competitive weightlifter or powerlifter, there's only very few who actually squat like that.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot wider.
It's usually a little bit wider. Weightlifters usually will have a narrower stance, but a lot of them are their toes are turned out quite a bit. And then a lot of powerlifters, will take an even wider stance.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're working the same muscles.
Okay.
So I just share with everybody, you got to find positioning of your feet in terms of the toe out, and also how wide.
Okay.
Find a position that's comfortable for you.
Okay.
You can also play around with different widths and different toe out positions too,
Okay.
just to give your body a little bit of a different stimulus too.
Okay. All right.
So that looked great.
Okay.
Okay. So second thing, I want to look at a shoulder press.
Okay.
So I know you've been doing them,
Yes.
but I'm going to give you a little bit of weight this time.
Okay.
So have a seat right there on the box.
Okay.
How much weight have you been
Just
using?
5 pounds.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with 5 then. And do you feel like your shoulders get a good workout with these guys?
Yeah,
Or do you
I
feel like
They feel sore. I mean, I've only been doing it for 4 days in a row
okay?
because I was sick and she was sick.
Yeah, and eventually, I'm not gonna have you doing them every day.
Okay.
Because, you can do a workout every day
Mm-hmm.
with the same exercises,
Mhm.
but at some point, the volume is going to get to a point where you're always sore.
Right.
So we'll have to reduce the frequency in terms of number of days.
Okay.
So instead of being like 7 days a week, it's going to be like 3 or 4 days a week for a certain exercise.
Okay. And then like different stuff on the other days.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like they've been so like, yeah, biceps and this triceps
Tricep
sore,
area,
and
yeah.
the flies, like my back feels a little bit sore.
Deltoids, right around the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lats down.
Lats, there you
Lats,
go. Okay, yeah. Chris is always like, I get
Your
it.
lats.
Yeah. And he does all, because he was an anatomy TA.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's like even
he's
more
really,
like,
yeah. So he's.
yeah. I'm like, okay, I get it.
All right, man.
Smarty pants.
All right, so let's go ahead and do 10 of those
Okay.
with the 5s. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Any issue with that?
No.
Cool. That looked pretty easy.
Yeah.
So I need to get some more weights. I was gonna get some of those adjustable like Bowflex ones.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have those?
We don't.
Oh
No.
yeah, they're pretty nice. But right now I have
I have 10s. I have 5s.
I think we have. I thought we had 8s, but maybe not.
Okay.
So try the 10s. I know it's a little bit heavier. So we'll just shoot for like 8 to 10 reps on this one. So I have a feeling you'll be able to do that okay too. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. A little harder, right?
Mhm.
7. Let's go one more. And 8. Good. Nice. How'd that feel?
Good. It's definitely harder, but
Doable.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and does Chris ever talk about the RPE system, like rating how
Oh,
difficult?
exertion.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rating perceived exertion. I think we talked about RPE when I met him over
Okay.
at the playground.
I think he's definitely talked about like doing as heavy as he can with lower reps versus what it is to do more with less weight.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's exactly the same.
No, not exactly.
Okay.
It's related. So basically, RPE is just the acronym for rating of perceived exertion,
Okay.
meaning how difficult was that set,
Okay.
right? On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being nothing, 10 being like this was insane. This was like a 1 rep max. Like
Okay.
I could do no more reps.
Okay.
It's a grading scale that just helps you determine like how effortful that set was.
Okay.
It takes some time to understand
Right.
what number it is, because if you haven't pushed to 10, to
You
a
don't
true
know
10,
Context, kind of. Yeah.
correct, you have to know the context.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll practice that as well.
Okay.
I don't like pushing people to a 10 on day 1,
Mm-hmm.
just for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
But we will get to that point.
Okay.
And then you'll be better able to use that system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
So me watching you on that, I would say that was like a 6.
Okay.
5 or a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the exertion to complete the set or the exertion just to do
Last rep.
last? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like around like 6 or 7, I was like, this is hard.
Yeah. On rep
Like,
on rep 8, I would say that your RPE was probably a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meaning that you probably had 4 or 5
Mhm.
or more reps
Mhm.
that you could complete.
Well, and I'm assuming it's to do it correctly, right? Like to do it.
Yeah.
About,
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing with shoulder press,
Uh-huh.
you can't really game it.
Fake it. Yeah.
You can't. Like
You
once
either get it up or not.
yeah, it either goes or it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Squats are a little bit different because
Mhm.
the muscles are so much larger.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of like.
Finagle it a
Yeah,
little. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So that's why you'll see people like rotating a bunch with their squats.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Cool.
Would he told me to ask you wall slides like for the range of keeping it within like posture wise be better to do? It's like if I'm up against the wall and I'm keeping it all in line for like the range of motion, would it be good to do those?
When you're using the weight,
Or just without weight, just like to be doing also wall slides?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
Your range is good.
Okay.
Like you have more range than me. You have more range than a lot of, like, I would put you at like the higher end of range of motion.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily think you need to
work
too much on range.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, cause I know you still feel like tight.
Yeah.
Sometimes with tightness and restriction, it might be more than the other side, so it definitely feels more tight. And then it can also come from and I don't know exactly why this happens, but when you don't use the muscles for a long time, even if you have really good range of motion, you can feel tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're good. And a perfect example of this, I had a classmate back in grad school, like, wow, a long time ago, 10 years ago, who she was like a dancer, and she could put her knee to her face. Like when she was laying down or standing up, it was crazy. And so we were in this lab one day, just like, labs in physical therapy school, by the way, are not like petri dishes and like flasks.
Right.
They're like
exercise
and stretching and all that type of stuff, right? So we were in like one of the stretching labs, and she's doing this, and she's like, "Oh, I feel so tight," but her knee is on her face.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the population can't do that, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, you're not tight.
Yeah.
But she's like, I feel tight. So you can have the perception and feeling of tightness without actually being really tight.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Can it feel that way if these have like gotten shortened from sleeping like that for years?
It can.
Like it's just like a lengthening problem?
It could be. I'm curious to see like if that tightness sensation goes away when you start lifting more.
Yeah. It's already helped a lot.
Yeah, because I've noticed that with a lot of people who don't have a normal lifting routine, who have good flexibility but feel tight.
Yeah.
When you start adding in the strength component, they start to feel like that tightness goes away.
Okay.
I've noticed this with a lot of people.
Yeah.
With people who are already tight, actually, if they can only lift their arms to here, they need to stretch.
Yes.
But somebody who has like full range like that, able to move around, who feels tight, I'm like, okay, who's not lifting, I'm like, all right, we probably need to add in some muscle strengthening.
Yeah. Okay.
And that just allows, for whatever reason, the resting tension to be a little less noticeable.
Okay. Got it.
At least that's what I've noticed with clients I've worked with.
Yeah. Chris was saying the same thing, but I think it was football players. They did like if you have really tight hamstrings, they start doing a bunch of hamstring exercises.
Oh, totally.
It goes away that it's actually like a weakness versus tightness.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, and I like to, and it's not to say you can't do more like stretching. It's not going to hurt you, and it feels good. It's great. But usually the thing that will knock out that sensation of tightness is the actual strength work.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, activating muscle versus stretching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool. So we've done box squats, we've done squats, we've done shoulder press. You said you like the slam balls, so and you have some of these?
I have a 10 and I think we have a 15 or
Is it one that you can slam?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I just haven't done it because I wasn't sure if that would be
That would hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll start with the 10
Okay.
and we'll do it easy.
Okay.
And we're gonna do one set.
Okay.
We're gonna see how you do.
Okay.
Because it is a more aggressive movement.
Right.
And here's the component.
Oh, that's what you're looking for. Dang it.
It's alright. So, let's see here. 10 pounders. So, with these guys, you have used these before, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, the big thing that I like to do is if I'm going to be coming up like so, and then I'm just kind of dropping into a squat and throwing down. And the landing spot of it is going to be a little bit in front of you.
Okay.
So when you're coming down. And just go at like that pace. Okay. So you don't have to slam it as hard as you possibly can. In fact, I just want you to do like 25, 50% maybe. So it shouldn't feel like you're compressing too much. Cool?
I feel like I always have the problem of like lifting up first to get it down harder.
Which is appropriate.
Yeah.
If you are trained for it,
yeah,
and you're ready to go. So, smash the bug, but easy.
Oops. Too far out.
Too far out, and you don't have to come into such a deep squat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would even
I would even think of it more of the finishing position of a deadlift versus a squat.
With the
So you're actually going to hinge, you're actually going to come forward with your torso more as opposed to being here. Correct. Yeah. Better. Yep.
Keep doing it so far out, I guess I'm letting you go too soon.
There you go. That's 50%, huh?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're getting into it. You like it. That's good. There we go.
There's some anger.
Yeah. Honestly, everyone who I have do these, they're like, wow,
they're fun.
I feel so much better. So remember, let's focus on the finishing position. Hinging. Okay. Yes. Not squatting down. Hinging. Yep. Good. Yep. Let's do 2 more. Nice. Getting the breath up a little bit. That's good. No, it's okay. Hey, you know what? You got to make it fun. Yeah, you can put that back. Yeah, we're just going to do 1 set of those. Cool. Those felt good?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Yes, exactly. And then in terms of the Peloton, how often? So we're looking at push-ups here. We're starting with modified push-ups on a bench, and these are really great for people who are just starting out. They are lower stress, shorter range of motion, so they're easier to start with. And she'll be able to progress to regular push-ups on the ground once practicing those. And then here we have me demonstrating an ab exercise. The ones I was kicking my legs at a little too far for her to start with, and you'll see that we had to modify it a few times to not kick the legs so far out because that was hurting her hips a little bit. Here she is starting with the legs kicking out further, and you'll see pretty soon here that she's gonna kind of roll and grab one of her hips because it was not feeling great after, she's like, oh, my hip right here. So this is when we started to modify and shorten the range of motion because she was having some back pain on that side. So first we started with just a single leg lift and keeping the other foot planted. And so this, she's still getting the abdominals to work, it's just less stress and she's a little bit more supported. And also during this exercise, she was asking, why is my quad or my leg, is my leg supposed to get tired? And the answer is yes, because this is essentially a straight, this is a straight leg raise with a little crunch at the end there. But yeah, this is a great modification to start with, and this will help to strengthen your quadricep muscles as well. All right, and then we did the other side a few times, and just to balance it out, I just cut the video here for just to make it a little bit shorter, and then you'll see her in a few moments doing another exercise where she's just doing like a small crunch upwards. So lifting the legs up and then just doing a small crunch up. So you should see her doing this shortly. Yeah, so this is just the smallest range of motion, but you can definitely feel the abs working with this one. This one is called an open book, and you can either do it where you are supporting your neck or not supporting your neck. I had shared with her that she could try to do it without her neck supported at first, and then try it with her neck supported, so try it both ways. She did 1 rep, and you'll see this coming up pretty soon. She did 1 rep of her neck not being supported, and it did not feel so great. And she actually is having some symptoms now because of that. But she was able to do the one with supported with no problem. And so I just instructed her to not do the full range of motion after this session, just based on the feedback that she gave me, because we just don't want to flare things up if we don't have to. Yeah, so you can see right there, she did not like that very much. So this is when we made the modification to put her arm behind her neck to support it. And we still went the full range of motion, but with her neck supported, and it felt a lot better. And that about does it for this session. So this was just a intro session for her, and it's much less than you might be thinking. A lot of people go to personal trainers who just put them through crazy workouts that they shouldn't be putting them through on the first day, thinking that getting somebody really sore and getting them really tired is the goal. And some people like that, to be fair, but in my experience, if you're trying to build a sustainable habit where you're making movement and physical activity and exercise a part of your daily life, you have to start with something that's lower stress, learn the movements, and become competent at them, and then you can start to layer on that intensity. You know, again, if people want to layer on intensity early, that's fine, but sometimes that can, I just haven't seen as much success with that, given I work with a lot of people who have chronic pain issues, or just they are more susceptible to experiencing pain that becomes debilitating. And if you push people like that too hard and too fast, they end up burning out and then never making physical activity a part of their daily life, and that's not what I want. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please let me know what questions you have in regards to any of the movements that were done, and if you're trying to get started on working out yourself or just being more physically active, please leave a comment and I will do my best to support you. Have a great rest of your day and take care.